Welcome to my channel, The Day Tradestor. If you've been watching your accounts a day or you've been watching the markets a day, you've seen it is an absolute blowout, awesome bull riding day. We gapped up roughly $15 and it's just been a green upswing day all day. And that is due in large part to the inflation news that came out. The inflation was not near as high as analysts had expected. The analysts just seem to be completely bewildered and wondering why the tariff inflation hasn't hit yet. They don't understand why the economy is not slowing down. And that's why for decades I have, in every single career or field where I hear the word expert, I use that term very, very loosely. And I would recommend if you put anybody up on a pedestal because you hear the term or the title expert, then I suggest that you take a little bit of time and do a little bit of research on experts across many fields. I certainly am not trying to malign the intellect and the intelligence of experts, whatever field they are in. I just recognize that on either side of the argument, in every single field, I can find opposite views with the same number of experts on both sides. But at any rate, the experts have been wrong for years. I started trading 3 years ago, and the experts in this particular field have been wrong the entire time. They've been calling for a market crash since I started in October of 2022. They're calling for a crash yesterday. They're calling for a crash all this week. They're calling for a crash so far all this year. And we just hit an all-time high on the S&P 500 at $6,806.42, and they expect it to just keep running higher. But in reference to my swing trading strategy, if you're watching my video for the first time, I make my videos to show you a simple but productive and profitable swing trading strategy that I've been using for about 1.5 years and am quite profitable. And I hope that I can show you that this simple strategy can make you profitable as well if you incorporate any aspect of my strategy. First part of the strategy is we have to sell some stocks. So I'm looking at my sell alerts that I received this morning, and I only actually received one true sell alert to a stock that we might actually be able to sell something at a profit, and that is Newmont. That's NEM. They are a gold mining and processing manufacturing company. They do mine other metals, but largely they mine gold. I currently have 9 shares, and when I max out on Newmont, I have 12. So I've already sold one book at a profit, and that book was sold from the price moving below the fast moving average and closing. And then we had a continuation candle of this price closing below the fast moving average. But we also had price move below the slow moving average, but I do not sell both crosses on the same day. I will wait to see what happens to price. Price moved back up. But then today we had price move back down. It opened lower, and when I got my alert this morning and I created my sell list, the price was lower than the open of this particular candle 2 days ago. But now that it's actually higher than the open of this candle, this is not a true continuation of price moving down. Monday may be another situation and different. Price may open up and start moving down on Monday. And if Monday's price does move down below this candle, then that will be a true downtrend continuation, and we'll look to sell then. But with gold going up right now, and all types of consumers buying into purchasing gold, whether it's gold ETFs or whether it's gold bullion or whether it's the gold miners, it is a gold rush going on right now. So it's quite possible that Monday we're just going to continue up. But I will look at the chart on Monday and we'll let the chart determine, according to my strategies and my rules, on what I will do, whether I will buy or sell or hold. And that was it. That was the only stock that actually even sent alert that I would have had an opportunity to actually sell any stocks on. However, I do have some stocks where I do have to remove some sell orders that I had placed. And the first one I'm going to take a look at is Datadog. That's DDOG. So I have 2 sell orders. I'm maxed out with 4 shares on Datadog, and I have 2 sell orders right now. And the reason that I'm going to be removing a sell order is I had price rise back above the fast moving average, and I have a continuation. Even though we currently have a red candle and it's going down, price is still higher than yesterday's candle close. So that is a price continuation with an upward move. And when I have price back above the fast moving average, I remove one of the sell orders, and I remove the more expensive of the sell orders. No matter how many sell orders I have, I will remove the most expensive as sell orders, and I leave one book. And I leave one book because when that price reaches and crosses and triggers this sell, this stock will now become a day trading stock. If you're new to my channel, I day trade and swing trade, but my videos are strictly for swing trading. And the reason is it's far more safe. It's much easier to show people how my process on how I make my decisions to sell or buy any particular stock, given the movement of the price action and the moving averages and how they cross above and below each other. And the crosses are signal opportunities where I receive alerts on whether they are buy signals when the fast moving average crosses above or when the fast moving average crosses below the slow moving average. So the next one I need to do is take two, TTWO. This is the game company. Oh, let's back out of here. TTWO, enter. All right, this is the company that designs Grand Theft Auto. So they are on a bit of a run, and they probably will be on a bit of a run until the game is released. And at some point prior to the release, or even right after the release date, we may see a parabolic move. Instead of going up slowly, it may go up and then start to go up a little bit more sharply. Grand Theft Auto is one of the largest video games of all time. The only two games that beat them is Tetris and Minecraft. And it looks like I only actually have one sell order right now, so I'm not going to remove that. I'm currently maxed out, and that book is, again, that is for when price does move up and takes this out. I will then start day trading, Take Two Interactive. So I'll take a look at Dow, D-O-W, and that is Dow Inc. So here they've had some pretty good earnings. Now they've been in a downward trend for months, like for 5 months. They've just been going down, down, down. And if any of you had put a great deal of money into Dow, you might be feel like you're down in hell. That was a Twisted Sister reference, by the way. Pretty basic but good rock and roll song of the 80s. All right, so Dow, we have the price of the fast moving average crossing back above the slow moving average, but it is not confirmed. Maybe Monday, as long as we come in Monday and price is still above the slow moving average, I will possibly, well, I will not even be getting rid of any sell orders, because when I'm maxed out, I have 12 shares of Dow, and that's 3 shares per book. So I already have one book, so I need to cross that off of my list. And we're going to move on to Moody's, which is MCO. And I don't even need that because I only have 1 share of Moody's, so I don't need to do that either. So we're going to look at Zoom. I know I maxed out on Zoom with 8 shares. So I maxed out on Zoom with 8 shares. And that's 2 shares per book. And here, yesterday, we had price, the fast moving average crossed back above the slow moving average. That was the trigger. And I received the alert this morning, and we have a continuation candle. So what I want to do is get rid of 3 books. I have all my shares are sitting in sell orders. So I'm going to get rid of the most expensive one first. And then from here, they're all at the same price. So I'm just going to leave 1 book. And if Zoom does ultimately reach this point and triggers a sale, I will then start to look to day trade Zoom. Now, on the opposite side of removing sell orders, I need to put a few sell orders on. And the first one I'm going to take a look at is Netflix. I did have 2 sell orders listed, but during earnings, I like to protect myself and tried to keep some shares in case price moves up, but it did not. Price has just moved down. Now I currently own 2 shares of Netflix, and this one I purchased the sell orders at $12.49. So the sell order that I need to put a sell on, I bought for $12.63. So come over to my watch list, right click, we're looking to sell 1 share, and I purchased that for $1,263.24. So I go to the first digit, which is 1,000. 10% of 1,000 is 100. So I add only $1 to my purchase price. So my sell order becomes $1,264.24. $264.24. So we're going to confirm and send. And now I've got both of my shares sitting in sell orders. The next one is going to be Union Pacific, which is UNP. Let me go back to Netflix, NFLX. So the reason I'm putting a sell order on is we had price fall below both the fast moving average and the slow moving average, and we had the fast moving average cross below the slow moving average. And this one candle is where everything crossed. And not only do we have continuation the following day on the crosses, we have a further continuation that Netflix is in a short-term, hopefully short-term downtrend. And at that point, I want to have a sell order on everything that I have that I'm not able to sell at a profit. If I had any shares that I could sell at a profit, I'd be selling them now. So that is why I'm putting a complete sell order for everything that I own of Netflix. And it will be the same thing for UNP, for Union Pacific. So we had price 2 days ago, on Wednesday, crossed below, actually, well, back all the way up to here. I had a sell order on both shares, except we had earnings, just like I had on Netflix, and I took one of the sell orders off, just in case Union Pacific had good earnings and price moved up. I want to have shares in and capture that move. But now that the earnings has passed and we are in a downward trend, a further continuation of the downward trend, I'm going to put that sell order back on. And I bought UNP. This share I bought at $252. So the other share I need to put a sell order on, I bought for $257.76. So we're going to put a sell order, one share, and I bought for $257.76. So the first digit is 10% of 2 is 20. So that becomes 20 cents. I'm going to add 20 cents to my purchase and change $257.76 to $257.96. So 257.96 is the sell order. Got good till cancel extended hours and confirm and send. I have one more stock that I need to add a sell order, and that's for Visa. For Visa, so actually, I've just been holding. So I currently have 4 shares. That's 1 share for each book. And I've been holding because we had price move below the slow moving average back here on the 20th. However, the next day after the cross, we had a nice big green candle. And even though we've had red candles, price is slowly moving up. So this one specifically gapped quite high. I mean, the gap open here was higher than the previous 5 days. So even though we're getting red candles, we seem to be in an upward trend. So I'm just holding off on putting the sell orders on the other 2, partly because I would hate to come in one morning before I see a possible price move and it triggers the sell and price ends up moving higher by $5 or $10 and it takes all of my shares that I owned out of my holdings. If it was static or slowly moving down, I would be putting the sell orders on. And the remaining 2 shares of Visa that I own would be listed right here with this one at 351. So if I came in one morning and I didn't get here in time before 7 o'clock and see that there was a price move overnight, then I can lose the possible benefit of not having to sell orders if it made a $6 or $7 move. Every penny counts. Every dollar counts. But I don't want to miss a single penny of possible profits. And that's it. That's everything I have on my sell side. Now on the buy side, right now I have $700 that I need to keep back for my possible buying back in on stocks that I'm day trading. So we'll just round this down to $2,000. I have roughly $2,000 to purchase some stocks with. Now, unlike the sell side, I received almost 20 possible buy alerts this morning. And as I looked at my list, I do have some favorite stocks that I want to look at. So I'm going to look at Lam Research right now, LRCX. They had great earnings. They've gapped up. And the day after their earnings, they didn't go ballistic, but it is one of their biggest green candles in 3 months. Let's take a look. I'll expand back out. Here we go. So if we look at that candle, it is actually their largest green candle. the day after they gave their earnings, and then they gapped up today. So that's why I'm interested in Lam Research. They are part of the chip manufacturing industry. All right, 152.45. So the reason I bought is we had price move above the fast moving average. That's where we love to have price, is up above the fast moving average and the slow moving average, of course. And then we had a continuation candle today with a nice gap open. We had a gap from 147.47 to roughly 149.79. So we'll just round that to $2 roughly. And I'm buying a stock that I prefer to own 10 shares or 40 shares of, but I'm now up to 20 and I'm happy with that. All right, price got to a point to where I thought I could safely buy on all of my day trading stocks. So I'm fully in on all of those shares. So I actually have $711 left to buy some stocks that hopefully are like Lam Research and are going up. There is another stock that I like, and it's Celestica. That's CLS. Take a look at that. So CLS is almost a $300 stock. Unfortunately, I will not be able to buy any additional shares of Celestica. I max out at 12 shares, so that's 3 shares per book. So 3 shares. And when I do purchase, I don't like buying individual shares. I want to buy at least 1 book minimum of the stock, of the allotted shares that I have for whatever company we're looking at. And right now it takes 3 shares for 1 book for Celestica. So we can't afford Celestica. That's unfortunate. I've been waiting and waiting till I have some money, but it's not working out that way. So I'll take a look at IBM. So they had a great earnings. You can see that. You can see their move from their earnings. They've gone from $265 to $309. So we'll call that $40, just round it. So we had price move above the fast and slow moving averages. But what's important is also yesterday we had the fast moving average cross back above the slow moving average. So I am going to purchase 1 share because with IBM, I max out with 1 share per each book, but I'm only going to buy 1 share because I want to buy another stock. And this is a pretty significant move. I wouldn't doubt that on Monday and Tuesday that it probably turns red. It's a prediction. I'm not an expert. And just like many experts, as I said, they get it wrong as well. So I'm just going with the price action. I'm putting my strategy that I have, the rules I have in place. I'm implementing that. So I'm going to buy 1 share and we're just going to hopefully get it at $308.84. And we did. So $308.84. SoFi is going to be another favorite stock that I want to take a look at that we received a buy alert on this morning. And they just recently crossed just earlier this week. So what, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, on Monday, we had a cross on Monday. We had a continuation and we had 1 down day, but then prices just steadily moving back up. Currently, I have 72 shares of SoFi. So I am currently maxed out. Didn't realize I was maxed out. All right, Howmet. We'll move on over to that one. HWM is Howmet. And they just recently crossed. So this is what I consider a good time to buy in and max out. Right now I have no shares of Howmet. When I max out with Howmet, I'd like to have 12 shares. However, they're $200. So I can't even get 1 book because 1 book would be 3 shares. So Howmet is out. But in case you're new to the videos and you're watching my strategy for the first time, I'll explain. So when I have the fast moving average cross above the slow moving average, that is a great time to buy in. It crossed on Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday. We did not have a continuation candle on Wednesday, but we did yesterday. We clearly had a continuation candle. The candle closed handily above the crossing candle. And even though This is a red, and price is currently lower. This is not the confirming candle. This is the confirming candle, and we still have price higher than the candle crossing. And that is what we're looking to have. Confirmation of price being above the closing price of the actual crossing candle. All right, I might be able to get Vertiv Holdings. So we crossed months ago. We crossed 3 months ago, but that's not what we're buying into. If we do get this, what we're looking at is we had price move back above our fast moving average, and we have a continuation. Price is currently above the crossing candle. So that is an opportunity for us to buy. I currently have 3 shares, and with Vertiv Holdings, I max out at 12 shares. So price is currently at 185. Dagnabbit, look at that. I can't even get Vertiv. So I'm just going to go down my list, and if you're watching my videos for the first time, you just maybe by seeing my repeated pattern and seeing my strategy, and as I explain how the candle's moving either direction is what my rule set is, and that's what determines my buy or sell. That'll just give you a little bit more to watch. So I'm going to go down. Well, I know I can't get ASML. I have no idea what the price of Dell. Last time I know they were around 150, so we'll take a look at that. Dell, I max out with 8 shares. I currently have 6. We had price, so price was down below our fast moving average for a week or so. But then yesterday we had price move back above the fast moving average and close above the fast moving average, which is our trigger. And this morning I received a possible buy alert for Dell, and it clearly is a continuation candle. This candle is continuing above the closing price of yesterday. So I will be able at $160 to purchase 1 book, and that will max us out. So I'm going to get 2 shares, hopefully at 158.68. So there's my book of 2 Dell at 158.67. All right, I might be able to buy another stock. We're going to take a look at J. And that is for Jacobs Solutions. We had yesterday, let's zoom in here. Yesterday, I did have price move back above the fast moving average, which that was the trigger. And I received the alert this morning because it opened, it gapped up, and it opened higher than yesterday's close. However, prices moved down at some point today. It ultimately reached 168, but it's moved down and price is currently lower than yesterday's close. So this is not a continuation of this crossing candle. And it's 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. That is end of trading session. All right, I'm going to take a look at an ETF, UDOW, which is for the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Current price is 111. I currently have 2 shares. When I have a maximum shares, I max out at 8. So it's 2 shares per book. So that would be $222. I will be able to buy 2 shares of UDOW. So I'll come in here. After hours, can't use my active trader. So I have to come to my watch list. We're looking to buy 2 shares at a current price of $111.85. All right, so now I have no more money really to buy any shares with. I don't do penny stocks, so I'm not going to sell. Try to find that. That's $23. That'll carry on over onto Monday. All right, now the reason I'm buying is we had a cross 2 days ago. We had the fast moving average cross back above the slow moving average, which is a good opportunity in most cases. Well over 50% of the time, it is a good opportunity to buy back in. And it's clearly a continuation candle from both the price moving above the fast moving average, as I had said, but also the fast moving average crossing back above the slow moving average. So that is it. That's everything for today, which wasn't much. When the bull is running and prices are going up, I just don't have a lot of stocks to sell. And if I'm not selling stocks, I don't have any money to put towards the purchase of any new stocks. So we'll go check out the SPX for the S&P 500, see how that ended for today. reached an all-time high of $6,807, but we closed at another all-time high of $6,791.73. So two records were broken today, both the all-time high and an all-time high close. And if you're not in the markets and you're watching my video, you may want to consider getting into the markets, because it's quite possible that this bull run just may keep going for quite a few years. You know, we might have some downturns that last a day or a week or two, maybe even a month, but in the long run, S&P 500 typically goes up over the long run. And with AI growing at the rate that it is, this might be the beginning of a whole new industrial revolution. All right, so now I'm going to take a look at our chart of the day, which is Teladoc. Now, I've been holding on to Teladoc for maybe a year and a half. Now, I didn't buy a lot of shares. I bought one book. One book of Teladoc for me is 16 shares, and I would be maxed out at 64 shares. And I bought this at $12.50. So it's been a long year and a half since I had Teladoc. If we go into my 1 year, 1 day, maybe we'll see that I purchased it. Actually, we won't see where I purchased it because I transferred all of the funds out of the old account into this new account. I just forgot. So, and this is where the transfer was. Transferred 16 shares. But here you can see the high was 1521. Let me go back 2 years. And we'll see where. So I purchased back in 2024 sometime is when I purchased this Teladoc. So this would be an example of my strategy, especially if it does continue to go up, is incorporating the misquoted quote, which is probably the most misquoted quote of all financial quotes, is the one by Warren Buffett. And the misquoted quote is never sell, when what he actually said is his favorite holding time is forever. So if indeed price does ultimately come back up and take out the sell order I have for Teladoc, then that certainly would be proof to verify and validate the idea of holding stocks of quality companies or companies that are expected to be quality. Teladoc is one of the largest telehealth companies there is right now. If I go back 6 years, let's go back 5 years. Does that encapsulate the COVID move? Yes. So you can see at one time during COVID, they got up to $308. That would have been an amazing run to catch Teladoc when they were down around $10 and ride that all the way up. That would have been awesome. Now, this would be an example where you do not want to hold forever, because it's improbable that we'll have another event that causes Teladoc to go up that high, that rapidly anyway. So it may work out in the long run, but let's get back to my daily chart, 1 day, 1 minute. We're looking at the 2-minute time frame. And here we have Teladoc. Double click, come on. I don't know why it's not expanding. Here we go. So the close of Thursday was $8.56. The close today, we're looking at $9.50. So we're looking at a 90-cent increase in the cost per share for Teladoc, which is a 10% increase. So if you have Teladoc, you're probably a little bit happy like I am. It's nice to see it turn around finally. Hopefully it'll keep going that direction. Go back to my S&P 500 SPX chart. Go back to my 3 month and 1 day. And now I'm going to take a look at what I did today. All right, you can see I did not have anything to sell. We did have one stock, that would have been Newmont, that we got close to possibly selling, but price rose on us throughout the day. And I have 2 stocks that I removed sell orders, and that was for Datadog and Zoom because price has risen. And then I have 2 stocks that I placed sell orders back on. Netflix, they had their earnings and their price is going down right now. So I had to place a sell order on one of the shares of Netflix that I have. And Union Pacific, I had to place a sell order on shares for Union Pacific as well. Now I was able to purchase Lam Research, LRCX, IBM, and the ETF UDOW. All right, now I'll take a look at my realized gains for today and my realized gains for the week, and then we'll also take a look at the portfolio performance as of yesterday's closing date. And before I show you that information, if you could please click that like, share, and subscribe button. Hopefully you're getting something out of the videos. Hopefully I am providing you with easily able to follow explanations of my strategy. If you are having difficulty following my expositions, please leave a comment. Let me know what you are having difficulty in understanding, and I will try my best to clarify any of the descriptions that I put in my videos. So again, please click that like, share, and subscribe button. And now we'll take a look at my individual stats. Today, I have a realized gains of $618.54, and $0 of this is through my swing trading strategy. Unfortunately, with the markets going up, did not have really any stocks that we needed to sell, which is a good thing. As a swing trader, that means your portfolio is growing in value. However, since I do this for a living and I need to make money every day, I also do day trading, and I'm day trading the same stocks that I swing trade, and all of this money is from my day trading strategy today, which is $618.54. So for the week, also, if you have been watching my videos and you wonder how much I trade, down here in the left-hand corner, you can see I made 121 trades today, and that's both sell and buy side. And here are the amount of proceeds that I spent, quote unquote, spent, in order to achieve this gain. So I used $54,561.98 to purchase shares that I eventually sold for $55,124.31 to achieve the $618.54 in realized gains. So here for the week, see, I had 378 trades with a total realized gain of $1,307.57. And over here, you can see how much my cost basis was to make the $139,208.81 in actual proceeds from the sales of the trades. All right, in this account that I opened on August 19th and started trading, my performance is 8.23% compared to the S&P 500 at 5.32%. And the account in which all of the assets were were transferred from into this new account. You can see I closed it on August 18th. I was performing at 16.26% compared to the S&P 500 at 10.54%. And when we combine the two, my total performance year to date is 24.49%. compared to the S&P 500 at 15.86%, which means I'm outperforming the S&P 500 by 8.63%. If by any chance you are following me and following some of my videos and also possibly making some similar trades that I'm making on the this particular swing trading strategy, please reach out, leave a comment, let me know. Maybe by you leaving a comment, it will fuel others to leave comments. Tell me where I can make improvements. Tell me where you might be misunderstanding something. Tell me what information additional that you would like for me to provide, especially if you need any clarifications on anything. I'm not the best speaker. I'm learning. I am becoming a better speaker, but I do make mistakes in trying to explain my strategy. So with that, I hope you all have an absolutely amazing Friday, and I hope you enjoy as best you can your upcoming weekend. Thank you very much and have an awesome day.